Hopefully it will. So that's pretty quiet. Yeah, it's been a week. Nothing too eventful. Not able to say a whole lot. So I guess, I mean, I'm safe, but that's just all I can really talk about. So I'm not going to talk about work. Health-wise, I'm doing okay, I guess. I'm just having trouble with this new thing that monitors my stuff. It wakes me up in the middle of the night, and it's been an adjustment. So if I seem a little bit like, it's because I'm just tired. It's not a lot of restful nights. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You're not here for that. You're here for gabbing about, you know, purses and handbags and fun stuff, right? Stefan's coughing. Oh, by the way, no, it was his birthday. He turned 57 this week. So, yeah, we're getting on in our years. So, celebrated that. He had to work. So he's taking today off he gets to has a floating holiday. So instead of taking his actual birthday off, he flopped it for taking Saturday off. He normally works the weekends. So we get to have a day off together. Oh my God. So really excited about that. So that's what we're gonna plan to do, something. Who knows? We haven't decided. I'd probably just go out to dinner and have cake. But yeah, so that was the week in the past. These are still a problem. I can barely draw them in, so not pleased about that. Still haven't heard back from the manager of the salon or any of the customer service surveys that I had filled out. So very disappointed. European Wax Center, I'll say it. That's where it was, and a bunch of crap. So really angry with that business and really regret going there. So anyhow, let's talk about the week in unnecessary spending. How about that? So I went to the outlets with my friend, and mostly to have lunch. And what's there? My screen's going down. Mostly to just chat and catch up because we hadn't seen each other in about 3 weeks. And just wandered throughout all of the different stores, and we went into, I'll grab one of the items out, and then I'll show you the other thing because it has to do with something else. So I went to, she wanted to find a different foundation and some other skincare because she's having just, she's a little bit older than I am. So her skin issues are a little bit different than what I'm dealing with. And so she was asking for some advice on, the, scaly, rough patches, how she should adjust her foundation. And I'm like, well, stop using powder. You don't need to use powder anymore. So I'm walking her through all the things, and we're buying all the stuff in the cosmetic company outlet. And then we went to Luxury Beauty Store, which is, picked up a couple other items in there. And then I found the little Prada infusions there, and so I picked up rhubarb as my treat to myself for the week. I don't think I've tried the rhubarb, which is why I wanted to pick it up. I didn't even try it in the store because they don't let you open anything. There's no testers out. It's the strangest store. Now, it used to have a bunch of the testers readily available. Yeah, you have to go to the counter and ask for it, and I'm like, well, it was like, what was it, $11? I'm like, I'll blind buy it, no big deal. So worst case scenario is I just keep it for, that's nice. I wouldn't say it's my first choice for anything, but it's a nice floral. Fruity floral, that's what I would call it. But definitely not as sweet as like Eau Splendide, but like along that line. Interesting. Don't think I'd ever think to wear rhubarb, but anyway, so got that one for $11. Cosmetic company outlet, was, I think I mentioned it, I think it was Heather who had mentioned that her outlet had shut down. This one was really weird. It had, all the stuff had been moved around. A lot of stuff was gone. A whole bunch of ordinary, the ordinary products, right, were there, which didn't seem to fit in at all. And then as far as the fragrances go, there was very little in store. There was still quite a bit of Jo Malone, but like all the Tom Ford, all of the, what is that? Francis Kirch, I think is what it is. I'll sort of bottle of what the brand is. It's like the memories of a, they have really unique names. All of those were not there anymore. So it was really kind of disappointing. I'm just wondering what's going on with that store and why things are changing. But anyway, went to Coach, went to Tory Burch, went to all the other stores, and there was just nothing of excitement to pick up. However, I did go into Marc Jacobs and saw quite a few things. They had quite a few of the tote bags in there, and my friend was looking at one for possibly a work bag. She ended up not getting it, but she's still thinking about it. But I was lured over into, right by the cashier, were all of these lined up in like the rainbow of colors, and I already have one of these, but I was suckered in to picking up another mini tote bag. And what sealed the deal, this is the bow pink color, was she's like, oh, well, that one's the crossbody one. I'm like, what? I just wanted a little bag charm. She's like, no, it's a crossbody chain. You can actually wear it as a purse. I'm like, what are you going to carry in that other than a card and like a lipstick, right? But I'm like, well, I could do that. Maybe just have a crossbody bag when I'm out walking the dogs. Throw a poopy bag in there and have it with me. But yeah, it has a little crossbody chain. It's kind of heavy with the chain inside there. But I was vacillating between this one and the darker fuchsia, deep, almost reddish pink one. And I ended up going with this one. I believe this one was silver hardware, if I remember correctly. Yeah, silver hardware. So I got this, and it was actually quite a bit cheaper, if I remember correctly, than I paid for my purple one. So the normal price is $150, and I got it for, this was the outlet, $75, half off. So I thought that was a pretty good deal, considering it was the crossbody version. So that was my unnecessary funding for the week. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because this is the theme of Giftmas this week is Marc Jacobs. So tune in to find out what you all could win. It's on a mini tote bag. I'll give you that as a hint. But it's Marc Jacobs. So stay tuned. You will discover what goodies I have selected for you to possibly win. So I hope you will enjoy that. All right, I need to swap out of the things, swap out of the fragrances, possibly get a nail thing going on here, and find a bag to be able to go out to have fun with my husband. And anything this week that I have to do, I need to go in. I'm going to be on, I need to go into the office 2 days this week. So I'll be on site a majority of 2 days. So I'll need something I can take for that. And yeah, so things to find out. So I will see you over there, and then we'll wrap it up then, all the things that we normally do. All right, we're over here at the fragrance counter. And this was I don't even know what kind of week it was. It was an okay week. I was different. I'm surprised that I do like the green daisy a lot. At least I did this week. It's definitely my favorite one out of the three that I have. I still want to get the yellow. I don't know why. I feel like I need to have it in my collection. But so I did wear that one. Of course, love this vanilla. And I did enjoy wearing vanilla cocoa as well. So those were great. Wore the Valentino, and I it's growing on me more, but I still think the extra dose is probably the one that I should have picked up, and probably the one that I had the sample of, because even the color of the juice, as they call it, was a lot pinker in the sample. So I'm pretty sure I picked up the wrong one. Anywho, let's talk about the ones that I tried for the week. So the Nest, I like the scent. I just hate, I shouldn't say it like this, that I hate, but I do not care for oils. I like to spritz fragrance on. I don't like to just dab it and let it just drip on me. And I just don't like that I had to apply it and rub it in, and it just wasn't what I was looking for. Longevity is fine. The general fragrance is fine. It's just not in a format that I care for. So it is a nice beachy scent. It's not overly, copper tone, whatever, but it's just not in the format that I like. So had it been in a spray, I probably would have liked it a lot more. So that is a decent scent profile, just not for me in its format. Not Your Baby. This one really just kind of threw me off. I don't know how to describe what I feel about this. I liked it, and I didn't mind wearing it. I don't think I'm going to buy it, though. It had decent longevity, decent projection, but it's too powdery. That's probably the number one thing. There's the notes right there. It's too powdery for me. I'm not a powdery person, but it still had a little bit of sweetness, so it wasn't off-putting, but it just wasn't my thing. I think Vanilla Skin is definitely my Fleur favorite, and there's some other Gourmands in the Fleur line that I want to try, so I'm glad I tried it, but it's just not my thing. But if you like powdery, comforting, light scents, think, back in the day when Philosophy had the Amazing Grace, the Pure Grace, that line where it was like non-offensive fragrances, this is your thing. So if you want something that's light and won't offend people that you're wearing it, this is your fragrance. So try that out if you need that type of scent in your life. Let's go find a new tray for the week. All right, we're back. This took a minute, more like 30 minutes. I'm all over the place this week. This is interesting. Well, I needed a vanilla because me and vanilla, but I was like, wanted to do citrus, and then I was like, no, let me try some other things, and I just settled on grabbing tons of different things. So I'm gonna try original Yara again, which I got from Camo Chica, Laura, my friend. Lemon Island I've had for quite some time. That's discontinued from Atelier Cologne, although you can probably still pick it up here and there. And in the front here, I have worn Mojave Ghost before. I don't recall liking it the first time, but I watched Michelle Wong recently, and she had mentioned that she didn't like it at first either, and then it grew on her, and now she loves it. So she just picked up a bottle for the anniversary sale, and just kind of intrigued me to try it again. So I'm gonna try Mojave Ghost, and that's the original. And then I have this set of 3 from House of Beau, and I don't think I've tried any of them yet, so I thought I'd grab I think it's Agua de Santos perfume, and I believe this is a citrus floral, if I remember correctly, of the 3. So that's where I'm at. It's all over the place with scent profiles. I think there's 4 floral here in just about all of them. But yeah, citrus, mostly floral, mostly floral. I think these are a little bit sweeter florals, but yeah, they're just all over the place. So we'll see how the week goes. It's certainly not my usual, other than, you know, that's my usual. But yeah, this is different. So we'll see how it goes. I will see you at the bag swap. I forget, I am going to be putting on the Oat Couture for the week. So I had been using Everything Taco, I think, for the last couple of weeks. Time to put something else on that looks a little bit more put together. And this is my kind of go-to favorites nail polish. So Oat Couture. Okay, we carried Byredo. And as you can see, my stuff is falling out of it. This is way too small of a bag for me, which is fine. We have discovered that the mini Byredo, as much as I love the Byredo, the mini is not for me. So the mini will be finding another home at some point here in the near future. Anything else? Probably the Giftmas at Christmas time. So I will keep her in relatively good shape, and someone will get it during the holidays. So I'll find a way to make it worth your while for that. Actually, I have 2 bags already for Giftmas in the end of the year. So we've already figured that out. Costco receipt. All right, let's figure out what bag we're going to carry for the week and what we're going to do here. So be right back. All right, we're going to carry the Tabby on chain. This is the one that has all of the built-in card slots and barely carries anything, but I have a plan. Not going to carry my spare keys. I'm going to swap out of the card holder, put all the cards in here. So I'm going to put this away. So I wanted to talk about that really quick before I do that. So I'm going to break for a minute. I am not a big fan of the Goyard. This is, and maybe it will loosen over time, and I should, but the card slots are incredibly stiff. Doesn't hold enough cards for my needs. I'm not a fan of the canvas. If I didn't have to carry as much as I do, maybe I'd be okay. But I have like my medical cards and some other cards inside here. Not enough. There's not enough room for cash. So it's just not my favorite. And I think this is way too overpriced for what it is. I'm sorry, just for the brand. I think it's crap. Yeah, big regret, especially I'm still salty about the behavior and treatment at the store that I had. So I probably will never shop with them again. I mean, I shouldn't say never. If I buy something from Goyard, it'd be secondhand, but yeah, I'm just not impressed. So I dropped my tag. I'm going to take all my cards out of here, load them up into here. I will be right back while I do that, and then I will load up the rest of the purse. Okay, I've actually already loaded it up. This is as concise as I can possibly get. If I was whining about how small that was, this is really, really taking it down to bare brass tacks, bare nothings, whatever. Can't even take my wipes, can't take my keys. Um, Leaving my catch-all home. So what have I done? I do have my sunglasses in there. That's a tight squeeze. I'm going to bring my Hermes lip balm. That does slot in. I'm going to bring my key pouch, which I can carry by itself, so this could come out if need be. And then I put all of my cards in here, with the exception of inside the pouch here, I do carry my driver's license and a debit card and all my cash in here. That's why I said I can usually just run around with just this and my phone in my pocket. So I could leave this home, but if I want to go out, then I would take my key off. I would like go out with my husband in his car. I would take the key off, just take the pouch and pack it all up and go. So that's kind of my thought process for the day. But if I'm driving, I will likely hang my key out the side like that, so I have a little bit more room for the sunglasses, and then put them in there. And then my phone can very tightly, I'm on it right now, you can't see it, but let's get this closed because it's so tight. There it goes. Because it's so tight, it had to be like one or the other. So phone or sunglasses in here. The odds are I'd be wearing my sunglasses and the phone would go in, so they'd be swapping out. Again, this is an incredibly tight fit, but this is what I would do. I also have to use an extender for this particular tabby because this chain isn't long enough for a crossbody for my frame. And for me, this front pocket is pretty much useless. So this is one of the bags. I keep it around just to remind me why I'm not the fan of the tabby. But if I had a bigger one, I probably wouldn't dislike it as much. It's just the shape of this that really bothers me. I don't know, something about it just has always been off-putting. The design of this has always been off-putting. So I don't know, maybe I will get a used one and just kind of see if I can change my tune and stop being such a negative Nancy. Blah, blah, blah. This is the bag of the week, the very concise bag of the week. And again, if I have to, which I do, have to go into work this week, I will just pull out the pouch, use that when I go to work with the Neverfull, and leave this at home. But this is for my running around, play, shopping, errands bag of the week. The Tabby Wallet on Chain. All right, we're wrapping things up. I've done my nails, ready to go. That again is Haute Couture, which I really love. I think it's the prettiest pale pink neutral shade. I just think it's really flattering. So if you ever want to try something from Holo Taco, just a really nice shade. Let's see if that will actually focus. Anyway, if you care. I did succumb and buy a couple of things off of my Nordstrom wish list. The night the anniversary sale went live. It goes live at 9 p.m. for access, my time, midnight, basically Eastern and subsequently. So nothing was sold out when I got access. I believe the last time I checked, there are a couple of things that are currently sold out in the beauty section. Again, they're going to come back. Don't freak out. People return stuff all the time and then they restock. So please don't freak out. The odds are you'll find the thing. So if you built your wish list, if you care, just don't have the FOMO. it will be meant to be if you're going to have the item. And trust me, nothing was that big of a savings to fret about. Anyway, there's just a few things that I think I mentioned it before, like the Donna Karan deodorant, maybe one other thing that they have every year at this time, and it's like the only time to really get it, but it's only you can't get it next year, right? Anywho, so nails are done, bags packed. I'm gonna go out and just run around and do stuff for hubby's birthday. We might go do a tea tasting flight. I think that's what he wants to do. So we're gonna go find it's either gonna be the Smith Tea Company, I think it is, in Portland, or we'll just go to the Stash Tea place and pick up a bunch, because that's his favorite thing to do, is buy a bunch of tea. So I'll buy him some tea and probably get him the Cold Stone Creamery cake, because he likes that for his birthday cake. He's more of an ice cream cake guy and not a regular cake guy, so I'm the opposite. I love me some cake. So anyway, yeah, we're just gonna go have some fun, and then see how the weekend. Well, he'll have to go back to work tomorrow. I have to work as well tomorrow, but it's because I have to catch up for other things. But anyhow, let me know what you're carrying, what you're wearing, spraying, all the things that we talk about. And look for Giftmas week 4. Is this 4? Yes, week 4. And then next week will be the finale, and next week will be the shortest window to enter. I don't think you're going to worry about it being a short window, but you can keep entering the prior weeks as well. So, and again, you can win multiple, just like during the holidays. It doesn't discriminate. So you're entered separately for each week, and I do the little drawing thing, and then if it picks you for multiple of them, I just combine the shipping. That's the only real difference, but you can win multiples. So anyway, look for that. You got the hint. It's Marc Jacobs stuff, and I will see you next week. So have a good week. Take care. Bye.